Hey guys, my name is Miki. I'm here at the Aloe flagship store in Beverly Hills, and I've put together a 20-minute joint mobility flow for you. Don't forget to subscribe to the Aloe channel for other great yoga videos and content. Let's get started. All right, we're gonna start in downward facing dog. So place your hands at the top of your mat, make sure the fingers are spread wide, and then you'll tuck your toes and lift your knees off of the ground. Feel free to keep a bend in your knees, especially as we're beginning, if the hamstrings are a little tighter. And here, you wanna move around a little bit. Start to connect with your body, and definitely start to connect with your breath. So in your downward facing dog, you'll start to lift your heels up, coming up onto your tippy toes, stretching the ankles out, and then using your exhale to lower the heels down. As you inhale, lift the heels up, and then exhale to lower. Just one more like that. Inhale, lifting the heels, and exhale, dropping them down. Now walk your feet out a little bit wider than your hips so that they're almost to the edges of your mat. Come onto your tiptoes once more, and this time drop both heels over to the right, pressing your chest back, still in that down dog shape. Take a breath in, come back to center, and as you exhale, swivel the heels over to the left, and again, press your chest back towards the legs. Use your inhale to come back to center, and then exhale to drop the heels down. As you inhale, come forward to plank pose, and then drop your knees down to the ground. So we're working joint mobility so that you can get the most range of motion in all of your joints, your ankles, your knees, your hips, your spine, and the shoulders and the neck. So here, working the wrists, turn your fingers away from each other and start to rock from shoulder to shoulder, making sure that you're breathing in and out through the nose. Taking long, slow breaths, finding a little constriction in the back of your throat, making that ujjayi pranayama, that ocean-sounding breath. So turning your fingers forward now, you're gonna keep the base of the fingers down, and as you inhale, lift the wrists up off of the ground. Slowly control the descent as you lower the hands back. 2 more times. Inhale to lift the wrists up, keeping your shoulders right over the wrists, and then using the exhale to bring the hands back down. Just one more. Inhale to lift, and exhale to lower down. And then keeping the toes tucked, press your hips back to downward facing dog. As you inhale, shift your shoulders forward over your wrists for plank pose. This is a great measure to find your distance from down dog to plank. And then you'll use your exhale to pull your hips back to downward facing dog. You should be able to move seamlessly through the 2 poses. Inhale will take you forward, and exhale will take you back. Inhale forward, and exhale back. Let's do one more. Come forward to plank, and exhale back to down dog. And if that's too much too soon, you can always start on hands and knees, coming forward and back to child's pose. Just kind of lubing up the shoulders here. So from downward facing dog, come onto your tippy toes, bend your knees a lot, look way forward, and you can either step or take a light hop up to the front of your mat. As you inhale, climb your fingertips to your shins and stretch your chest forward. And then use your exhale to fold. Put a little bend in your knees here. Measure out 2 fist distance between the inner borders of the feet. And then grab hold of your elbows and drop your head down. Sway your torso side to side a few times. Breathing slowly in and out through the nose. Release the clasp of your elbows and bring your feet all the way together. Once more, come up halfway as you inhale, stretching your chest away from your thighs. As you exhale, bend your knees, placing your fingertips to the ground, trying to sit low in your chair pose. When you're ready, your arms will reach up, taking that Utkatasana chair pose. If your knees are way forward, just slide them back so the weight is in your heels. You want to draw your rib cage in like you were tightening a corset. Take your hands to your hips now. So to get into the knees, a little mobility there, just gonna start to draw some big circles with your knees. If your hands on your hips feels funny, you can take your hands to your knees. You always have options. Do what feels best for you. Switch direction with your circles if you haven't already. And then come back to center. Sit low, reach your arms overhead. Maybe you can bring your palms together for a breath, and then fold all the way forward. As you inhale, stretch your chest forward, and then plant your palms and step back to plank pose. In plank, you want to stay strong through the legs and press out of your arms. Shift your shoulders forward as you inhale. You can always drop the knees or keep them lifted and lower through chaturanga. Come onto the tops of the feet as you inhale for upward facing dog, and then press back to downward facing dog. Stand down dog for 3 breaths. Inhaling and exhaling. Make sure to keep the integrity of the hands by keeping the entire palm flat. Take another breath in and out. One more. Inhale, put a little bend in your knees, lift the sit bones up, and exhale. Come forward to plank pose as you inhale, and then lower your knees down to the ground. From here, you're going to extend your right leg straight back behind you. Your toes are pointing down, and you're trying not to arch in the low back. So you can even give your tummy a little tap, just remind it to engage. Sometimes we need that little reminder. Press out of both arms. Take a breath here. And as you exhale, you're going to engage your core and reach the right leg out to the right. This one's a little tricky. So if you feel like sudden sense of urgency and pain, don't worry. It'll be over in a second. Take a deep breath in, and then set your foot down out to the side. Just make sure that your foot is in line with your hip. Tuck your back toes and start to rock yourself forward and back here. So we got the ankles, we got the knees, working our way up into the hips here. Put a little bend in your right knee and begin to circle your hips around. This one is a little more free form. So listen to your body. If you want to go fast, switch directions, but I like to take it a little slower. Just grinding out any tension, any tightness in the hip joint. Good. Come back to center, shoulders right over your wrists. One more moment of strength here. Exhale to lift that leg back up. Take the leg behind you as you inhale, and then just go ahead and set the knee down. Other side. Ready? Left leg goes straight back. So remember, you're not just sinking into the shoulders here, you're pressing out of the ground. Take your little tummy tap, make sure the core is engaged, and then take your left leg out to the left. Breathe here. Smiling helps. Really does. Trick yourself into enjoying this moment. Take an inhale, and then set your foot down, out to the left. Back toes are tucked, just gives you a little more stability as you rock forwards and back. And here, if you want, you can even flip your fingers back so the wrists are facing forward, opening up the wrists even more. Go ahead and put a little bend in your left knee and begin to circle your hips around. Switch direction with your circles. I always imagine like an herb grinder, just grinding everything. And then back to center. Take a deep breath in, and then lift that leg up. Press out of the arms, get really strong in your core. As you inhale, reach the left leg back behind you, and then set the knee down. Now walk your knees a little bit further back so they're behind the hips. Toes are untucked, and you're gonna circle your hips around. Just draw really big circles here. Again, it's a little more free form. Switch direction with your circles. Just trying to loosen up all these joints here so you can get the greatest range of motion. Tuck your toes, press back to downward facing dog. Take a deep breath in through the nose. Hold it in at the top, and then stick out your tongue and exhale for a lion's breath. Look forward, bend your knees, and then step or lightly jump up to the front of your mat. As you inhale, halfway lift, breathe in, exhale to fold. Come into a very tiny little chair pose now, reaching your hands forward. It's a very little chair, so sit down as low as you possibly can, and then take a seat. You're gonna lie on your back. Working our way up the body now, into the spine. So pull your knees into your chest. Give yourself a little squeeze here. It's nice to rock side to side, and just massage the sacral plate. You can even make circles, as you see a little circly theme happening here, in both directions with the knees. From here, your arms are gonna go out by your sides. Palms are face down. Take your knees forward so that they stack right over the hips. And then bring your feet in line with the knees. Take an inhale here. Use your exhale to very gently lower the legs over to the right without letting the right thigh touch the ground. Your inhale will lift the legs back to center, and your exhale will take the knees over to the left. Inhale through center, and exhale to the right. Inhale, center. Make sure your knees didn't come back towards your chest, and exhale over to the left. Inhale, center. Exhale, right. Inhale, center, and exhale to the left. Come back to center and bring both of your knees into your chest. Now keep your right knee in and straighten your left leg out onto the mat. Right arm will open out to the right. Your palm will be face up this time. Use your left hand to guide the right knee across the body, taking a deeper twist. It's nice to shift your gaze over the right fingers so the twist goes all the way up into the cervical spine or your neck. Take a breath in and out. Come back to center. Hug both knees in just for a moment and then switch sides. So your left knee keeps into the chest as the right leg extends. Open the left arm out to the left and twist as you exhale. So the muscles around the spine can soften and release. Shift your gaze out past the left fingertips. Take a deep breath in, filling all the way up, and exhale, let it go. Come back to center and bring both of your knees into your chest. Take your hands behind your thighs now and start to rock up and down along your spine. You can have some rock up and down along your spine. You can have some fun with this one. Pretty sure I used to do this as a little kid all the time. And now it's part of my yoga practice. Come up to a seat. If your hips are a little tighter, you can elevate your hips by sitting on a block or a bolster or a pillow, whatever you got. Grab your strap. And you're gonna hold the strap in both hands. I like to grab onto the metal part so it doesn't clang around. You might have to adjust the width of your arms, but you'll know in a second whether or not you need to. You want the arms to be out straight. As you inhale, you'll take the arms overhead. I need to bring my hands closer. So inhale, lift the arms overhead, and exhale, you'll take the hands behind your back. Inhale, reach the arms up, and exhale, take them forward. So you want the elbows to be straight. So that's how you know whether or not you need to bring your hands closer or further away from each other. Inhale, lift the arms up and over, and exhale, take the hands behind you. Inhaling up and exhaling forward. It's almost like you're putting WD-40 into the rotator cuff here. Inhaling up and exhaling back. Inhale, exhale. Let's do one more full round. Inhale to lift, and maybe after your shoulders get a little warmed up, you can even play around with bringing your hands closer together. Take the hands back behind you. Last one, inhale to lift, and exhale, bring the hands forward. And then you can move your strap out to the side. So working up into the neck now. You want to make sure that your chest is facing forward and the arms are relaxed. It's nice to kind of clasp onto the elbows to weigh them down, or you can keep your hands resting on the thighs, either palms face down or palms face up. Drop your chin to your chest, but keep your chest lifting. Start to rock your head from shoulder to shoulder. Keeping the breath really slow and really steady now. It's almost like you're ironing out the kinks in the neck. Any stress or tension that may have accumulated here, try to just release some of that as you move and breathe. If it feels all right with your neck, you can go in a full rotation, inhaling back and exhaling forward. Make sure you go both ways, inhaling back and exhaling forward. Keep your chin tucked into your chest and take your hands behind the nape of your neck, right behind that ridge of your skull. Squeeze your elbows towards one another and start to draw your chin down towards your chest, lifting the chest up, stretching out the cervical spine, giving your spine a little traction here. Take a breath in and out. Release your hands to your knees now and lift the head back up. Start to take your head over towards the right shoulder. Take your right arm overhead and just gently lay the arm down. You don't need to pull or add any extra strain. Your left arm is going to go out to the left now. And if this is too much of a stretch, then you just lift the arm up. Take a few breaths here, trying to relax both shoulders away from the ears. Inhaling through the nose, exhaling through the nose. One more breath in and out. Gently release the right hand. You can even use the right hand to pick your head back up, so you're using as little effort as possible. Lower your head to the left and just drape the left arm over the right ear. Make sure both shoulders are soft. Breathe in, breathe out. Again, breathe in and out. One more breath here. Inhaling and exhaling. Slide the left hand off the head, lifting it back up once more. Make your way onto your back, all the way down, and pulling your knees into your chest once more. Give yourself a little squeeze here, and then gently lay yourself all the way out for our final resting pose, Shavasana. You want to take your feet out as wide as your mat, reach your heels forward, and just let the feet fall open from one another. Press into the backs of your arms. You can tuck your shoulder blades together behind the back. Your palms are face up. If you still feel any tension anywhere, you can move around a little bit, settling in, rocking the head from right to left until you find a place of stillness. Take a deep breath in through the nose, filling up all the way. Inhale into the belly, into the chest. Hold it in. Take in 3 more little sips of air. Hold it in, and then sigh the breath out through the mouth. Completely relaxing into your corpse pose. Let the body and mind become more and more still, more and more relaxed. Feel free to stay in your Shavasana for as long as you have time for, but our 20 minutes is up. So take a deep breath in through the nose and sigh it out through the mouth. Start to twinkle your fingers and your toes, and as you inhale, stretch the arms overhead, interlace your fingers, flip your palms, and reach your legs out in front of you, and exhale to relax. Draw your knees into your chest and make your way up to a seat. I always finish every practice, whether I'm teaching or on my mat, with a moment of gratitude. So join your palms together in front of your heart, bow your head down, and thank yourself for taking some time today to step onto your mat, to move and breathe for no one else but you. Thank you so much for joining me, and don't forget to subscribe. Check out all the other yoga content on Alo Yoga's channel.